Remember the story we brought you about Governor Ron DeSantis deciding to go after registered voters, arrest them, make examples out of them? Well, guess what? Those charges, they're being dropped. Let me take you to the video initially. Here it is.
Apparently, I guess you have a warrant?
For what?
I'm not sure.
For voter stuff, man.
For voters.
It's what it is. I think the agents with FDLE talked to you last week about some voter fraud, voter stuff, when you weren't supposed to be voting, maybe.
I didn't.
They have reduced your bond quite a bit. It's 2 felony charges for voter fraud, but they've reduced it to $500 bonds. So it's $1,000 total.
Oh my God, man! What?
Yes, sir. So unfortunately, right now we're gonna have to take you to jail.
I didn't do nothing to nobody, man. It's a voter fraud. What is voter fraud?
Voting when you're not supposed to, sir. Because of your sex offender status, you're not supposed to be voting. You don't have a non-support warrant.
What is wrong with this state, man?
That was Tony Patterson. It also happened to Ramona Oliver. Here's the video.
So if you can put your hands on your back, please. Oh my God. Do not move.
Ultimately, ma'am, you have a warrant? Okay. The warrant. Listen, hold on, listen. I know you caught off guard, I understand. Right? So you have a warrant, it's for voter fraud, okay? Hear me out. It's an ROR. You know what an ROR is?
Oh my God.
You go in, you get booked, and then they're gonna release you from booking. But you have a warrant. And it's from FDLE, okay?
Okay.
All right? So I know you're caught off guard, but unfortunately, that's how this stuff works, okay?
I'm like, voter fraud. I voted, but I ain't commit no fraud.
Well, so that's the thing. I don't know exactly what happened with it, but you do have a warrant. That's what it's for.
Mrs. Oliver is a 55-year-old black woman who was arrested for felony fraud. Tony was arrested for felony fraud. The judges know it's BS. Tony gets a $500 bond. She has a signature bond for a felony because the judge know it's BS. There's more. Nathan Hart, here it is.
No one ever really explained all that much to me. I told the guys when they came out here that I was at the driver's license place getting my new driver's license.
Yeah.
The guy there asked me, he says, hey, can you vote? He says, hey, are you ready to vote? I said, no, I'm a convicted felon. I'm pretty sure I can. He goes, well, are you still on probation? I said, no. I got off probation like a month ago. He goes, well, then you can probably vote. Hey, just fill out the form, and if you can vote, then they'll give you a card. If you can't vote, then you won't. And I'm like, all right. He says, well, just fill out the form, and if they let you vote, then you can. If they don't, then you can't.
And there's your defense. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a loophole to me.
See how the cops responded to him? Sounds like a loophole to me. Sounds like an affirmative defense here. All right, charges have been dropped universally for these shenanigans by this out of control governor of the state of Florida. Prosecutors in Florida have dropped charges against a man arrested for voting in August. The dropped charges are a setback for Governor Ron DeSantis after his self-touted, highly publicized, and instantly politicized sweeps targeting people who allegedly cast ballots illegally earlier this year. Tony Patterson, 44, hails from Tampa. His arrest, captured on police-worn body camera footage, became something of a lodestar for the controversy over charges leveled against 20 individuals by the Florida Office of Election, Crimes and Security, a vote policy or policing agency that operates under the Sunshine State's Department of State. Y'all said anybody with a felony could vote, Patterson said on the video, which was widely shared when it was released in October. We covered it then. What do you mean I couldn't vote? I don't know this. I'm supposed to know I can't vote, man. And why y'all doing this now? Why would you let me vote if I wasn't able to vote? Patterson went on to ask one of the many arresting officers serving this low risk warrant. I'm not sure, buddy, an officer replied. I don't know, another one said. According to the Tampa Bay Times, state prosecutors said they were dropping the charges based upon information received from the Hillsborough County election supervisor, and because Patterson was already being sentenced in a separate case. Multiple people arrested in Florida during the voting sweeps were expressly told that they were in fact allowed to vote, according to MSNBC. Some of them, including Patterson, were cleared by state officials to receive and then did receive voter ID cards. Sounds like a setup, right? They go through the process, they get voter ID cards, they're allowed to vote. Everything is okay. And then the police show up to arrest them. Why do they not check in the front end? That's because he cannot do this song and dance routine in the back. Remember, Ron DeSantis is not interested in Black Floridians voting. He's interested in scaring them not to vote. He wants to make sure they are afraid to participate. He stands against transparency and democracy or a full participation of Florida residents. That's not what he wants. At least prosecutors are willing to do what was necessary and drop the charges. Ben, thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, there's two big layers to this. First and foremost, we need to understand the role of police officers, which is they introduce the threat of violence into situations that are, for the most part, just like clerical issues, right? Broken headlights, vehicle registration, all that stuff. It's like these paperwork, these different type of like paperwork, like regulations, right? Where nobody's really in danger. That's most of what police officers do. And the other layer to this, because this whole voter registration thing is obviously a clerical issue, except it's more than a clerical issue because it was a trap. It was a trap that was intentionally created, where they intentionally made it confusing as to whether or not somebody would be able to vote. And then they waited for them to register so that they could arrest them later. And lo and behold, after the election, they dropped the charges.
Yep, there you go.